Hey, you guys. So it is BCHG, Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits here, you guys. Ladies, we are the Black Coffee. Sometimes our lips drip with honey. We got SAS class and all that as if y'all don't already know who we are. I am Jamaica Anderson, passing it over.
I am Maisha, the Sensual Energy Alchemist. Hi.
I'm Dr. Jamaica, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. I'm also your intermittent fasting and mindset coach. Hey, y'all.
I'll jump in. I'm Shelly A. Carter, real estate and money based out of New Jersey, but serving the nation.
I am Carmel Jean-Francois, your health, wellness, fitness, and nutrition coach. Passing it back to you, Jamaica.
All right, you guys. So as always, we come to you guys with these hot coffee topics. Woo! So today, our conversation today is the importance of long-term relationships. So of course, this could go any kind of way. So it's five of us wonderful women, and we're gonna kind of define it for our own selves. But for me, when I talk about long-term relationships, long-term is whatever investment you want to make into it. It could be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever is the longest. You can tell me what's your longest relationship has been. And when I talk about relationships, it can be anything. So one of the things that I was talking about with importance of relationships just in general is building community, having people who are there by your side, who can support you, who can challenge you. I always believe you need an adversary, you know what I'm saying? Somebody check you. But also, you need a cheerleader. You need someone who you can talk to about finances. You need someone who you can go to when you're in a spiritual rut. Who are these people for you, and how do they pour into your lives? And of course, always, the romantic side of things. But needless to say, what are some of the long-term relationships that you guys have been in, and how have they fulfilled you? How have they been important? And one of the things that we kind of get us talking, we were talking right before we got started, and we were just saying, like, sometimes for me personally, I was like, I want like 2 or 3 dudes just for a little season, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because I am a girl who has a lot of personality. Sometimes I'm real low key, and I want somebody who can be low key with me. Sometimes I'm very boisterous, I'm out loud, I wanted to be like something about those ghetto girls, but I don't want to say that. But sometimes I need somebody who can get with me, who who's very articulate, who's intelligent, but who also is a little street. And you may not be able to find all those things in one particular person, but the aspect of those things, where do they come in your life? So for me, I do want 3 boyfriends. I'm just throwing it out there again. I'm gonna repeat it a couple of times just in case y'all want to put in the application. I'm here for it. But I do have other influences in my life. Like I have one of my great guy friends. And I've known him for probably about 15 years now. And that's my street friend. He's a little articulate too, but I think I challenge him a little bit more than he challenges me on a lot of things. But he does keep me on my toes, where it's like when I'm talking about guys, that I'm dating, he's like, nah, Jamaica, you need to go and choose somebody else. You need to go and leave him where he at, because X, Y, and Z. That, is da, 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 da. He gonna give it to me real, but you need those people in your lives who gonna do that for you. You get what I'm saying? And I also got the girls that's gonna be like, girl, just put it on him one good time and he'll act right. Just go for the money. Don't even worry about that. If he ain't got no money, then get rid of him. You need all these different aspects depending on who you are. So I don't know, how do you guys feel about long-term relationships? Whether it's friendships, whatever. What's your longest relationship you've had?
Well, I'll go.
You got long relationships.
I do. And I think they're great. I think they're juicy. I think they're so important. I love, first of all, I love relationships, good ones, and good ones. And when you find them, it's just so delicious. And I'm going to tell you about one relationship that I have. And it may sound odd coming out of my mouth, but you guys won't understand why. But I have a relationship with my best friend's mom and dad. And we've had that relationship for 40 plus years. And the reason why it's so delicious and so beautiful is because I have found such a great support system. I found stability. I found history, memories in them that I completely forgot about, that they have been able to talk about to my children, so that they can get a different lens or a different aspect of who I am. So I think that those types and kinds of relationships are very important outside of your nuclear family and all of that, right? So that to me has been amazing to still have that in my life. And also with my girlfriend, with Coco. You guys know Coco, but with Coco, to have somebody who has seen the growth, who we have memories of the crazy stuff we've done together, the stuff that we never thought we were going to do, the businesses we've had together. So to me, long-term relationships are very important, and they're juicy and delicious. Now, with men, or on a romantic level, I've had several long-term relationships. It's a pattern there, huh? But yeah, so I think even with that, to be able to look back on my mistakes, to look back on my successes in those relationships, and to just see what I want to carry over into another relationship, what worked, what didn't work, who I am, how I'm different, my likes, my dislikes in myself as well as in men. So to me, long-term relationships are, they're important, and they're juicy and delicious. So I'll stop there.
I like that though, because like even when you talked about her parents and stuff like that, it's you sometimes you need that. Like I always tell people a community raised me. Like the community really had a stronghold in raising me. Because there were a lot of things, like my mom was just like a no-go, or like she wanted to act like she didn't know, or maybe she just couldn't talk about it or whatever else. And each individual I learned different things from, whether it be like my mom's, at the time when I was younger, one of her really good friends, um when I was at their house, they don't have any kids, and yet like they taught me like how to stay in the tub and dry off in the tub before you get out, because you know us as kids, you just jumping out the tub, you like, hey, I need a towel. You know, and it's like, no, you want to maintain your house, you know, you want to do this, do that. And then like even like my aunts or something like that, like they would come over, and you know, on another episode, y'all know we talked about your feelings getting hurt and stuff like that. But my aunt would come over, she'd be like, this bathroom is horrendous. You need to do this. This is how you take care of your womanly things. This is like, but you know, from just my mom or just that parent, you know, who's raising you, you don't get all these different aspects of, you know, how life can be, how you could take care of yourself or whatever else. And then like even when I was younger, I had a friend, and that may have been like a 3 or 5 year, you know, gap with us being friends, but her mother was one of those people, like I was able to see how they interacted. You get what I'm saying, with their mother-daughter relationship, and be like, dang, my mama don't talk to me like that. Like I like that. Like I wish I could have this type of interaction. Like I think that different relationships bring different things out and allow you to foster different parts of yourselves. And even like what you were saying, like with men, um, even with short relationships, I know we talk about the importance of long-term relationships, basically because of the development, you get what I'm saying, of you as a person. But even those short little ones, they help you to see yourself, a piece of yourself differently, and what you like, what you said, what you do and don't like, and which is great. But those long-term ones are the ones that be like, you changing, and I don't think I don't realize, I don't recognize you no more, friend. Like, who are you? You're getting a little, look, you're getting a little stush over there with them other ones. Like, come on back to the dark side, you know, which is always good too. Because they just see you for who you are. They see your development. Sometimes they celebrate you as well. You know what I'm saying? On the good stuff. And a lot of my friends, I can actually say I have had for over 10 years, a lot of them. And they make me more proud of myself.
Right, right. It's like a growth and development type thing, right?
Right.
You can see it in each
Right.
other. And if you don't have any long-term relationships, like how do you see it, or how do you even foster loyalty? How do you foster that? How do you have someone to call to say, you know, I mean, I don't know that I could call somebody who I just met and doesn't know me and does have no trust in me and say, hey, I hit a rough spot, I need $10,000.
I almost cussed. 10,000, girl. Can
She
I
lived,
get
she lived
I
a
gotta
different
get my
life.
money up. Hold
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying,
No, get yourself.
what I'm saying,
What friends you got? We need them too.
right, exactly. You see what I'm saying? So I have
Rub
friends.
elbows.
I have a good group. You guys are silly. I got a good group of friends that if something happens, they know my stability and I know their stability.
Yeah.
That I can reach out to.
Yeah.
Hey, I need this. I need you. Or even that hard conversation that I may not want anyone to know about. I have that core group of stable, long-term people that can get me together, or, you know, whatever. So that's all I was saying.
But that's good too. Like the relationships, people being able to ground you, those long-term ones can really help that out. And not and when I say grounding, not in like making you feel bad about yourself or whatever else, but actually being like, hey, you're getting to a point where we're really not recognizing who you are. You've always been this stand-up character. You've always, blah, blah, blah. Regardless of how you develop, these are some things, some underlining principles for yourself that you have always stood by. And like right now, this isn't you. Especially for people who go through like depression or anxiety and different things like that. Sometimes you forget that you haven't always done those things, right? You haven't always had these issues that now are coming up based off of what you're going through in society as well. You get what I'm saying? So they help to keep you be like, girl, just start back dancing because you used to dance all the time. Maybe that's what you're missing, and those be those things that you forget.
Yep.
Listen, I'm just taking it in.
Look, I'm waiting for y'all to join in because y'all know I can run a conversation. When
Well, yeah, no, because it's just I'm really just taking it in as I'm I literally was going through my phone through my contacts. First of all, if I don't talk to people in like a year, you get deleted out of my phone. Like I don't need your phone taking up space. We're probably connected on social media, so when I say I don't collect people, I really, really don't. Like if I need to reach you, I'll just message you on Facebook or something. But people on my phone are people who are like actually in my life or family members, family. But I was trying to look through my phone. I was like, who's in here who I've known for a very, very, very long time, who's not family or family like? The two of them I had sex with, but who is just in my phone? And I was like, one woman I was like, oh, I should reach out to her because we haven't spoken in years, but she's hard to find, and we had a nice connection. And I knew her. I can't say I know her now, but I met her when my children were young and we were all homeschooling. Then I have another friend whom I've known now for about 20 years. 20 years. She is probably at this point my oldest friend. She's also 70 years old, although I keep forgetting her age. And, we'll talk from time to time. But outside of that, I was trying to think that's as far back as it goes. Well, the other guy, but again, he's a former, and I've known him since I was about 22. But other than that, I don't have any people like friends that I have in my life, like from high school. I had a lot of friends in high school. I know them on Facebook, but we don't talk like that. They're acquaintances. Not
I
for
don't really delete numbers. That's so like
Oh yeah, I do.
I'm hearing you and I'm like, okay. But for
I
me,
don't.
I'm one of them people who like when people reach out on Facebook and stuff, I be like, and I know you had my number. Like one of my friends, she always be writing me on Snapchat, and I'm like, girl, if you don't text me, like you about to get blocked just because you don't text me. Like use the number. I'm not here to be like social media. I'm just like, if you reaching out to me on social media and you don't have my like, first off, you can Google it. If you type in my name, I know my number gonna pop up somewhere. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, if you ain't texting or calling me, first off, don't call me for real, but text.
Yeah,
But
don't
if
call.
you ain't texting me, like I don't know you for real. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I'm the kind of like the opposite a little bit because I have so many. First off, it takes me a while to call people. Like I might be like, "Hey, friend," whatever. But for me to actually consider you to be a friend of mine, it takes a lot for you to get to that position. And so, and it's very curated. You get what I'm saying? My friendships are very much so. And I can go without talking to some people for years. And when we do reach in touch bases or whatever else, it's like we're playing catch up, but nothing is missing a beat. Those are the type of friendships that I have. And I realized most recently, just even on Facebook, like posting stuff up or whatever, that people, those people who met me before, like they truly value me. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you'll forget. Sometimes because I feel like a lot of times we take ourselves away and take ourselves back. And I know I went through a season where, everybody was like, oh, you're addicted to social media. You need to, get off of social media, da 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 da. And you have all those moments. But it's like when you're trying to get back out there, it's kind of like you feel like a ghost as well. You get what I'm saying? Or it's like, do people even really want to hear what I got to say? Or, even when you're in business and you questioning yourself on a lot of things, it's like you have moments where you're just like, who am I? You get what I'm saying? Because there's so much noise on social media and you feel like you have to agree with so many different people. And there are some people who have come and be like, you have always been a person I could talk to. You've always been a person who has been open minded or blah, blah, blah. And to hear certain, even with you guys, when we did that, what was it? Adjectives that describe you, type thing, to see you guys describing me with the same thing that my aunts and my mom is describing me with the same thing that, my friends who've known me for 10, 12, 15 years plus, you all are saying roughly the same thing, which lets me know that me as a person in general, I haven't changed. You get what I'm saying? But the people who've known me from before can actually point out certain things that's like, yes, you have evolved, so the core of you hasn't changed, but you as an individual, you evolve and we can see the growth. And I think those long-term relationships help you to see that too, help you to maintain it. You get what I'm saying? And even so, like even what Dr. J was saying too, going back to some of that, like my grandmother, my dad's mom passed a while ago. It's been at least 7 years, 6, 7 years. And even before that, because my grandmother was like in her 60s when I was born. So, she was 90 something when she passed. But there are some things that my mind just forgets. You get what I'm saying? Like you just have things that you just forget. Um, and to have people who knew her and who weren't necessarily family but grew up with my family to be like, oh, you act just like Clara. You know what I'm saying? Or even my other grandmother, you act just like Shirley. Like, I don't know, like they just spit you out. To have that, it kind of also brings this little bit of joy that, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like that family thing. You get what I'm saying? Like
That's
that
so
feels
interesting
good.
because I don't connect to any of that. I don't know if I'm an alien or what. Well, that's a whole nother story. Somebody did tell me something, but I don't like that. I have like I've improved. Let me, and it's an improvement team. Let me say I was so bad. Well, my feelings were hurt. I, and like left Maryland and came back, I unfriended people in my Mocha Moms group that I used to deal with when my children were younger, because I just didn't want to see their lives. I want to see, because I wasn't even attached to any of it. Like, it was like that part of life is cut off. This part of life is here. Like, as soon as one part of life is cut off and I'm like on to the next, it's like we're done. Like, and then I felt bad. And I had to like, like friend request them back again. And it was like, Maisha, what happened? It's like, I just going through a thing. And I was, but like, I don't know anything really about my grandmothers, their lives. I don't, like, very little. My again, those long-term relationships and stuff like that. Like, this is really, I'm just taking this in. I feel a little bit like a alien. I'm listening to y'all. I'm taking it
Don't
in.
feel like an
As
alien.
Yeah, don't feel like that. But as Jamaica was talking, and I know I'm talking a lot because I love long-term relationships, but as Jamaica was talking, I thought about two friends of mine that and Coco's included in that, and Keisha's included, because you guys know Keisha.
Look, I was waiting for Keisha. I was like, Keisha.
Yep, Keisha and Coco. And so we have this thing that we do where we call each other if we're having something crazy going on, or if we know we're being crazy or stink or whatever. We call each other and we say, hey, can you just hold space for this rant? Or can you hold space for this foolishness? Or can you just listen to me? I just want to dump, or whatever. And if they can, they say, yes, I have the time. Or if they can't, they say, I don't. Can you hold it, or whatever? So we've been doing that for years. Maybe 2 or 3 years we've been doing that. And to have that, to me, is priceless.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't just do that with anyone, because number one, they can use it against you later, right? They have all this information. But if you have stable, loyal friends, they won't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So I just want to throw that out there. So.
That's y'all to me. I mean, that's y'all to me. And I've only known you for like a year. But when things happen, you all are the first people that I come to, like you all, and I've not known you very long at all, really. But I will be in the WhatsApp, just randomly doing my event. I don't ask y'all if y'all got space, but just randomly or whatever it is. And I haven't known you a long time, but I just, for whatever crazy reason, feel very comfortable with the four of you, where I spill my guts in a way that I don't do with other people. So y'all know.
That's nice.
Yeah. So in your case, Maisha, this is a long-term relationship.
I was gonna say we must be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, Dr. J, you say it all the time. You say, we go together. Go together. Real bad.
Real bad.
It was in my head. I wasn't ready to say it yet. Yep, we go together.
So like Jamaica, I need 4 men, Jamaica, 3 or 4, right? Because I got no, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, so long-term relationships for me, you all know my sister primarily, and of course, yeah, like that's my longest term relationship. I was conceived with her, right? And my cousins. Now I have some friendships. I have 2 friends, one friend that I've been friends with her since kindergarten, and another one since high school. And I feel like those are very special. And sometimes we don't see each other, and then we do, and we just love up on each other, and we can ask questions like, so what's going on with dude, right? Like, and we can ask questions. And the other day, the first time, so during on my birthday, she was there, Michelle, Maisha, she was sitting to my left.
Yeah.
She started telling me about her premenopause symptoms, and we're at that age. And I said, Michelle, oh my God, like I'm remembering when we were 11 years old, maybe 10. And we were in gym class, and Michelle pulls me aside and said, Carmel, I got my period. And like this, and then now she's talking premenopause to me. And I said, Michelle, I got all like, and that was, it was quite special, that long-termness, and knowing that we can actually talk about that and not even feel a kind of way. And, premenopause is still something that people are not so comfortable talking about. And here she was, she just brought it up in the middle of like cake or whatever it was that we were eating at the time. So long-term relationships are definitely special for all the reasons that you even said, Dr. J, for the people who know you, and they can, use stuff against you if you haven't known them, if you haven't established a level, that kind of level of a relationship, of friendship, of that bond. So yeah, I definitely value them. And then to you, Maisha, I feel like even if that relationship is just but a year, maybe plus some months long, the level of integrity, especially when we're women of a certain age, and we've had experiences with other people before, and so it kind of feels it's a good spot. It's someplace good to know, like, based on my previous experiences, I know that I can trust this group of women or these people or this particular person with my feelings, with my intentions, and know that they won't stab me in the back. So there's that aspect of it too. So yeah.
And it ain't a real friendship if you can't talk about the nasty parts. Like, if you can't talk about your menopause, your menstrual cycle, your dump that you took, if you can't talk about none of that, you when you had sex, how it was. Like, if you can't talk about that, I don't want to be your friend for real. Because I'm gonna ask you, me and my friends be having the weirdest conversations. Like, I'm the one that's like, one of my good friends, she ate this cupcake, and by the time I made it to the house and I started eating mine, I was like, girl, if you don't go drink your bottle of water, this thing about to have my sugar high. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't talk about health stuff, like, girl, this gonna have your sticking to your colon the wrong way. I don't want to be your friends if we can't talk about stuff like that. And I want to be able to say, oh, girl, that was a little TMI. Like, you giving me a lot. Like, like, you gotta have those moments, and one of my good friends, she'll be like, I know you're gonna give me a strike, but I'm gonna tell it to you anyway. And we do that. Like, you got 2 strikes and then we done talking for the day. That one strike was just it. And it's like, don't say nothing else to me. We'll start over tomorrow because you done took it too far. You know what I'm saying? But you have to have those relationships. This is wow.
Great. Absolutely. Well, I'll jump in. I'm listening to you guys and it all sounds so beautiful. And I just realized I do have that kindergarten. I'm just realizing, I would say grade school, but I have that long-term kindergarten friend. Jamika, you were talking about having the person where you just pick up. I am not the call you everyday friend. Nobody in my universe understands Black coffee, honey, and grits. They're like, you talk to those people every day. When do you guys take time off? And the answer is, I don't know. it happens occasionally, but I don't know that we actually
and then I feel some kind of way.
Yeah, we don't usually have a 24-hour period where we're not talking. I think Jamesia was only because she was on the cruise and was out of touch. So I just know for me that Maisha, I feel like an alien when I start talking, and when the spirits are telling me a business plan about something, I don't know nothing, and I start hashing out whatever fault is gonna fall out, and other people are looking at me weird. My people don't think I'm weird at all. They catch what I'm saying. They know what I'm talking about. They even reach out to me when I'm doing stuff, even when I'm not talking. When I'm putting out content on social media, here's how funny it's been. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I've had people send me messages over things I didn't say. They've been able to interpret my messages and reach out to me and say, girl, I see you, you looking good. I love what you're doing. And give me either tips and pointers and a help in the right direction. Kudos just for coming out. Literally, you guys talked to me about not pulling my YouTube channel up, but my long-term people, they know. And then there's this other weird thing. I still have an unexplainable relationship with my first husband. I think we're friends. I just don't know what we are. He is he is still my cheerleader. I'm still his when he's not feeling well, when he has things, the family still calls me to give me updates and let me know what's going on with him. And it's good. He's one of the first people who, when I started doing things, reached out to me and said, I see you becoming. Like, I see you. That meant a lot. Like I've said to you guys in our rooms or individually, I'm not the FU person. After our breakup, we had space. My current husband has met him, actually likes him, thank God. Um, there's no confusion or intertwining, but it is nice to be in a relationship with someone where, who was it? I don't know who it was. Maisha laughed last time I said that. I have people who can call me at 3 a.m, and I know I can call them and they're going to come fix it. Wherever I'm at, I'm getting picked up. My flat tire's getting fixed. If they get a call and I'm in the hospital and I say, call this one or that one, one's getting on a plane, the other one is getting out of bed, they're coming to fix it. And that for me gives me a boost of confidence. I feel supported. So on the days where I want to beat myself up and pretend that it's just me against the world and no one understands me, they're the ones who somehow or another have the most perfect timing to reach out and either just say hi, and we pick up like we were talking every day, even though we didn't talk for 3 months, or they just say, hey, I just felt like you needed a call. It was time to check in. And the timing on that is just so, so beautiful. For me, my other long-term relationship was my father. He was my coach. He was my consultant. He was my therapist. And in his absence, it is really nice to have other people to fill that spot. It really is, because there are just days where I need to talk to voices where I feel like you get me. And having these relationships, oh God, college, the 90s. So, from 19 years old, forget the kindergarten one, but 19, 20 years old, and to have those people still be in my life, yeah, I wouldn't trade that for anything. Like, just nothing. You guys are
Love.
amazing. Maisha, if for some reason we're not doing our show anymore and we don't talk for a year, you are not allowed. I don't care. You are not allowed to delete my number. I'm not trying to hear nothing you talking about. And on that note, I will tell you, I don't delete numbers. I will just put an XXX next to that name, because I need to know that so-and-so was calling, and I need to look at my phone and go, oh yeah, no, we're not doing that. And I just go on right about my day. I'm not deleting that number, not at all. Because
Shelly, I just deleted my first number that I want to say that I've ever deleted. And it was I looked to call one of my sorors who had the same name as, and I don't want to cry, as one of my dear, dear friends who died. And I went to call, and it just did something to me to still have all of her information in my phone. And so I deleted it. And that's the only number I've ever deleted, because of course she's passed on.
oh,
It was just, oh gosh, it was just weird that my first number, I'm going to say, that I've ever deleted. Yeah.
I
Wow.
can't say I've never, but you just reminded me. I still have my father's number in my phone. And every now and then I say, why do I have that in there? He better not call. But I need to think about that. Wow.
So y'all like long-term relationships. That's really, this is the question, how do
Yes,
you feel about them?
Yeah.
I do.
I have a ton of dead people in my phone. I know I do.
Really? Wow. I don't,
Yeah, I like long-term relationships.
Yeah.
I don't know. I first of all, let me just say this. I like them so much that that I have a lot, yeah, right. But I like them so much that at one point, and probably I want to say 6 or 7 years ago, my daughter start, she would just, she wants me to love everybody. She wants me to meet everybody. And I had this thing about it, and I don't know where the hell y'all came from, but it was manifested. But I was like, I don't need any new friends. I don't have time for any new friends. And here you guys are.
Girl, you be
Friday.
piling on friends on the back of the truck, busting out windows and everything else. Talking about I don't need no new friends, and then here go 4, 5, 6 more. Then you be outside. I like it. Yeah, here go my number. You need to cut it out. You be the main one
The
with
main
everybody.
one. But I don't need no new friends, because friends are an investment, and friends
Yes.
are so precious to me. It's like, yeah, like Jamaica, you were saying, when we first met, maybe at the beginning of our relationship, Jamaica, you used to tell us, well, I have this thing that I do to bring people over to my side. And that thing that I do is I call everybody friend. Do you remember that conversation?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, you just can't have that title. You remember that? Because
Yeah,
it's
but
so much for me to
yeah.
put you in that friend category. But yeah.
Well, that was my friend. A friend of mine taught me that, and it's just that it changes the dynamics of how people receive you. You get what I'm saying? Like, I've been in stores or whatever else, and people be miserable or whatever else, and be like, "Hey, friend, how you doing? You all right?" Da da da. Because sometimes you don't know a person's name, but it's just it kind of just, I don't know. It just
It's
it
on. It's
offsets
a
it.
disarm. It disarms
Right.
people. Yeah.
Right. And not to say that just because I say hey friend, that's why I said that today. Just because I say hey friend don't mean you my best friend. You my friend. Like, I ain't got no best friends. Like, let me be very clear. The 2 times that I done claimed people as my best friends, they done jumped off the wagon. So I don't call people my best friends. I got some real good friends. I got some long-term friends. And I have, people who I associate with, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But yeah, all that good stuff. Look, but that's enough of me telling y'all my business. And I'm glad that y'all decided to tell me some of y'all's. This has been a really good conversation. I don't know if y'all wanted to say anything before we go, but to go on and wrap our little talk up, Maisha, get your life right. You
And
can't get rid of us
listen,
like that.
I'm
I got a
I'm
friend who
I'm
said that. Can't
I'm listening to y'all. I mean, I don't see y'all going anywhere. Like I said, the 4 of you are a huge anomaly. I really haven't been this close to people I don't remember that I was not having sex with. So it's really interesting. So I'm just being honest. So it's really interesting to me that the 4 of you are here, which is how I know that it is something very special, because I have not cultivated these types of relationships since, since maybe 20 years ago. So this is it's it, but long term, we'll have to figure out the romantic thing later on. I don't have no time for that. I can't even get there yet. Just let me bask in the glory of being friends with y'all right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something all on its own. I'm not even gonna lie. I have something else to say, but I don't even remember. But
Well, I'm gonna join Maisha and say it's an anomaly. I don't know how I show up. I wake up, I'm looking at the phone. I don't feel like doing this. And then next thing I know, I'm there. I'm buying the ticket for our next trip. Annoyed the bejesus out of me. I don't know if y'all know who bejesus is, but he was annoying me trying to buy this ticket. And it's just, I usually hide. I am the recluse. I can see myself with the 400-foot driveway that you got to get through a gate and like gatekeepers to get to me. I don't know how you people get me to be so present, and I'm glad for it.
like,
But I scratch my head. It's a mystery.
Same, Shelly. I'm very much the loner. I don't know, but I could spend a whole week with the 4 of you. Like I'm like, oh, the bunch is coming. I'm counting down the days. I'm normally not like that with human beings at all. Outside of the people that came out of me or coming in me. I'm telling you, I'll be like,
I
yeah,
love,
we're gonna see each
I
other
love that too,
again.
Carmel.
well, all right, y'all. Look, what you was finna say something, Carmel?
No.
Oh. All right,
Ditto.
y'all. Well, we finna go because we got things to do. But it was good talking to y'all. Look, bye everybody.
Bye, y'all. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.